Welcome to another episode of The Wave. My name is Adam.
My name is Nick. It's the weekly news and chat show from the world famous Bottom of the Stream podcast.
It is indeed. It is a bit warm on this boat today.
Yeah.
Bit sweltery.
I've left the window a crack.
Oh, you have. So if you hear any background noises, but I don't really get a lot of birds, so I don't think you'll hear many birds.
Have you ever just been sitting nicely and then a bird smashes into the window?
Yes, that has happened. One fell down the chimney once. That was
yeah.
bad. That was bad times.
We've had a couple just like face plant the living room window.
It must really hurt.
Yeah.
It must really hurt.
I remember there was a guy I went to uni with, and he like lived. He was local.
Yeah.
So he still lived at home, and he came in one morning, and he's like, "No, guess what's happened to me today?" He's like, "This is early. We're in for like an early lecture." He goes, "Got out of bed, pulled my curtains open, and a pheasant just attacked the window."
A pheasant?
Yeah.
Whoa.
It was,
That must have been terrifying.
yeah, damaged the window, and about killed this guy by scaring him to death. Yeah.
Wow. Pheasants are stupid animals.
Yeah, they're big as well.
They
can
are
get
big old units. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're always walking in front of cars and stuff. They just don't respect the authority of a car.
Yeah. Taste all right, though.
No, I don't think I've ever eaten it. I don't think I've ever had
Maybe
pheasant.
not.
No,
I think I only have once. No, it's not like I'm sitting there making pheasant
You're
sandwiches.
munching on one right now.
It's not like
It's not even dead, Nick. Stop it.
a mouthful of feather. But, yeah, attacked by a pheasant.
Squirrel.
Yeah.
It's a
All the
squirrel
wildlife's out in this
outside.
hot
Yeah, it is.
weather.
It's a beautiful day, beautiful wildlife.
But
How have you been? Have you got any gossip for me?
I've been pretty good. I haven't got any gossip. I don't. Nothing striking to mind. I think everything's been a bit unremarkable this week. Just getting on with life, you know.
It's been a long week, hasn't it?
Enjoying the weather.
It's been a long week.
Yeah, yeah, because we've had to do
Yeah.
not have any regal bank holidays or anything.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
true. No, that's true.
We got to watch a movie that we're going to talk about on Thursday.
Yes, we did.
It's a wild card pick from
Yeah.
one of our patrons.
Mr. Ross Cook's Patreon.
Yeah. What are we watching on Thursday?
We are watching a film called The Summit of the Gods.
Sure.
It's a French animated film based on a Japanese manga set in Nepal,
Yeah.
mainly.
About mountain climbing.
Yeah, it's about Everest and the perils of climbing a mountain that
Yeah.
you shouldn't be climbing.
Pretty difficult to climb mountains.
Apparently so. Apparently so. We have a good history with mountain climbing films on this show.
Yeah,
One-
but way back in season 1, we did the Dawn Wall, and
it won.
it won the
Won
first
season
season
one.
of this show.
We'll see if Ross can keep our mountain climbing record going.
Yeah.
So yeah, come back on Thursday to listen to that.
I always like it when we do an animation. We've only done a handful,
Yeah, we've not
So
done,
it's-
done 3
it's
before, I think.
3 or 4, so it's always cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Excellent.
Nice change. And there was a dub. I don't mind doing foreign films when it's... In fact, it's not a dub, but I'll go into that a bit more.
I've got some comments about that as well, so
Okay.
come back on
We'll
Thursday.
come back on Thursday. Well, that's a tease. I'm going to talk to you about dubbing.
Yeah. Oh. Whew. Absolute hot dub takes on this show, which is sometimes as exciting as it gets.
Yeah, absolutely. Should we start with some Netflix news?
Yeah, let's do that.
Where are we starting? I think there's only one place to start this week.
Okay. I mean, this was pretty hot off the press just yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, it's a bit of a double header of news. The minor news almost being that finally the
There are people outside.
second season of Squid Game has been officially confirmed.
Finally, the biggest, worst kept secret in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Now it's happening.
But Netflix have actually put it down in writing.
Yes.
Not that there was ever any doubt.
And then they buried the lead on it.
Yeah.
Completely. They're like, we'll do season 2,
It's
but
become the absolute byline.
it really has. Of the biggest show ever made, the season 2 has become a byline of the bigger news.
Yeah. Which is that Netflix have announced a Squid Game reality series.
Yeah.
A real life Squid Game.
Why has this never happened before? Why have we never even thought of
Well,
doing this?
it has.
Yeah, it has happened before.
You know,
that's true.
various YouTube people with lots of money,
Yeah.
like Mr. Beast,
Mr. Beast
have
did
done their version of Squid Games. Also, YouTube people with no money,
Mm-hmm.
because my kids, I've
Oh,
definitely watched a few, like, you know, of these families trying to recreate
Yeah.
Squid Games and stuff like that. But Netflix throwing a shit ton of money at it, and indeed the prize.
The prize is it the biggest cash prize in reality TV history?
That's what they're saying. $4.5 million.
$4.56 million.
Yeah, because
It's madness.
That's the number of players, isn't it?
456 players will start, and one will take away all the money.
Yeah.
Over a 4-week period, filming the beginning of next year, apparently. Open casting call if you want to check it out.
Yeah, worldwide.
Yeah. Anybody can apply.
You can go to the website and it will send you to your regional hub for Squid Game casting.
I had a quick look because I did consider it briefly, but I had a quick look and it's like it says you have to be available for the first. I think it was 4 weeks at the start of next year.
Okay.
So that's when it's obviously being filmed.
456 participants will compete in games to win 4.56 million.
That is a really good idea.
I presume you won't die.
I assume so.
I don't think Netflix are that powerful. Netflix's vice president of unscripted and documentary series, Brandon Reig, says that the reality series will draw on the captivating story and iconic imagery of the original show. So yeah.
What's going to be interesting is when it gets down to the final two, are they going to have to fight to the death?
Yeah, why not? I mean, that if I was Netflix, I would seriously consider thinking of and changing how they release this show.
Yeah, 100%.
Because if this is going to be, at least at the start, going to have everyone's interest.
Yeah.
Because we're years away from Series 2 of Squid Game.
Yeah. That's not beat around any bushes there.
This is here to fill the gap.
Yes.
And I don't see the point in Netflix dropping this all at once.
No, I don't.
Because if you're starting to build the characters and follow your favourites in this format is surely absolutely prime for either a daily or a weekly release.
I think I'd probably go daily.
Yeah.
But then people would have to catch up.
Yes, but you make it a special event for those 2 weeks or 10 days or however long it is. Or you... I'm not sure they'd go weekly.
Do you put it on take Love Island as an example?
Yeah.
Whilst it's being filmed, you're putting it on.
You could do, yeah.
Yeah.
But it depends what they're doing with budget and post-production.
How the format works.
Yeah, exactly.
And, there's going to be a lot of cuts and stuff, I imagine.
But I'm not sure dropping the whole lot
I wouldn't drop it all at once.
Is the right approach for something.
No, I
like
agree.
this.
I don't think I'd drop it all at once.
Because you can...
You missed the ball on it a little bit. People will
do.
just binge it and then it'll be done in a day.
Yeah, and you can generate so many clicks and articles on the commentary of it as it goes along. You know?
I'd be very surprised if they did that.
Tactics reviews and
exactly.
and especially as the characters
Who's your favourite?
start to come out.
It could really hit pop culture.
Yeah.
I'd be very surprised if they launched just drop it all at once. It seems like a mistake to do that.
Yeah.
This could be the biggest reality TV show of all time. This has that potential.
Well, look how many people watch Squid Game.
Exactly. So
you've
got to be really careful how you deal with it. You could have a real hit on your hands here.
You could. Yeah.
It's exciting. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I can't believe they've not talked about doing that before, and I'm really excited for it. So it hooked me straight away. I even thought about applying, but then I thought, nah, too old for that. I'd just be the old dude. I'd be that old.
He's really old. He's like old. At least double your age.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, I think that release strategy will be really interesting on that.
Yeah. I want to talk briefly about the announcement for Series 2 of Squid Game.
Yeah.
Did you see the tweet that Netflix put out?
Yes.
It just said red light, green light in capital letters. I thought that was really clever.
Yeah.
Green lighted it. I like that.
Yeah, nice.
I just enjoyed that. Thought it was fun.
Hopefully there's a few more than 3 pages of ideas now, but that was 2 weeks ago.
It's up to 5 now, I think. Yeah, you're talking 2024 at the earliest, I would think, for that. Season 2.
Yeah. I think that's realistic.
Right, some Squid Game stuff. We'll have to come back to Squid Game maybe at some point later on.
Cool.
Next.
Some news on Interceptor.
Okay.
Which is flying high in the Netflix
it's doing really
top
well.
10. The director of Interceptor, Matthew Riley, has been interviewed this week, and he says he's confused by the film's success.
That's never a good thing, is it?
He says, I don't think anyone was expecting this movie, produced by Chris Hemsworth and starring Chris Hemsworth's wife and being the biggest movie released on Netflix in the past couple of weeks, to be a be a big hit, but it is. I mean, I added all that second lot of stuff, as you may have worked out. Yeah, he's expressed his surprise. It's not had great reviews.
No, it's not getting good reviews.
But it kind of makes me want to check it out, to be honest. It's only at the time of recording being kept off number one by Adam Sandler's new movie Hustle. But last week it was right up there. Riley says that he was hoping to sneak it into the top 10, but coming in at number one, what a surprise!
Happy boy.
I don't think anyone was expecting, he says, to take the world by storm. I'm just as confused as everyone else.
Way to stand behind your project there. I think it's just at the minute people are just clambering for new content from Netflix. I think that's probably all it is.
Spoiler, not spoiler.
Okay.
I'm just reading this because I think the way this article's written is ridiculous.
Right.
Because
Call them out. Who's it for?
The Independent.
Oh, obviously.
They say they give a little synopsis of the movie. So Intercept follows an army captain played by Elsa Pataky as she attempts to avert a missile attack on the US.
Yeah.
Earlier in the article, it states that she is the wife of aforementioned Chris Hemsworth.
Yes.
After that synopsis, it then says Luke Bracey, Colin Friels, and Reese Muldoon also appear in the film, as does an A-list Marvel star in an unexpected cameo.
Who could that possibly be?
I don't know.
Wow.
Write better stuff, people.
Come on.
Oh my God.
Come on, Independent.
Despite all that and the fact it's got some pretty terrible reviews, it feels very bottom of the stream.
Yeah.
But it's never going to be bottom of the stream.
Not
so
now.
I might check it out at some point. If you want a brainless action movie, then maybe that's something to check out. If you've watched it, let us know.
Yeah, do it.
We're quite happy to read any comments out. I don't know where you might stand on this one.
Okay.
The Lincoln Lawyer, which is also riding high in the Netflix TV charts, has just been renewed for a second season on Netflix.
Good for them. Excellent news.
I've added it to my list.
Yep.
And it's probably next up for me.
Okay.
Because I've
it's on my list too.
It's been trying to get through Stranger Things.
Yeah. It's not next up, but it's up there for me.
So, again, something that's had really good reviews so far, The Lincoln Lawyer. I think it's only 10 or 11 episodes, season 1.
Okay.
But yeah, been renewed for season 2 already. Nev Campbell's in this show.
I didn't know that, but I do know.
And possibly related, Nev Campbell has said she will not return for the next Scream movie.
I did see this.
I feel there might be a scheduling conflict.
Yeah.
But that's not quite what she said. Campbell's basically said, sadly, I won't be making the next Scream film. As a woman, I've had to work extremely hard in my career to establish my value, especially when it comes to Scream. I felt that the offer that was presented to me did not equate to the value I have brought to the franchise. It has been a very difficult decision to move on. I love all the Scream fans. You've always been incredibly supportive. I'm forever grateful for you and to what this franchise has given to me over the past 25 years.
That's a shame.
Do you think that's... I don't disagree with what you said at all.
No, not me.
If they've lowballed her, that's disgusting.
Fuck off. Yeah, exactly.
But I bet the offer she got from Netflix to do season 2 of the Lincoln Lawyer wasn't too bad.
No, I bet it wasn't.
And if it's a choice of doing one or the other, who knows?
Who knows? It's disappointing as a Scream fan. But also I've read this week that Scream 6 has had its location changed and it will be set in New York.
Right.
Which is also disappointing.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like a Scream movie.
Yeah.
If you're going to set it in New York.
Yeah.
It feels like it's going to be like, oh, Jason's in space now. Or Ghostface is now.
Scream on Broadway.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like it's going to be a Scream. It definitely isn't going to be a Scream movie if Nev Campbell's not in it.
Sure.
It just doesn't feel right.
She's like the glue, surely.
Yeah. It's like trying to do a Nightmare on Elm Street without Robert Englund. Which they did and was terrible. It just doesn't feel, it doesn't sit right.
I never understood that. You know, when they rebooted it.
Yeah.
Why wasn't he in it?
I don't know. He loves playing that role. He still plays that role now every so often.
He was absolutely fine.
Yeah. They tried to change it up, didn't they? And change the game a little bit.
Yeah.
For a new franchise. It's terrible. It's a terrible film.
So a couple of stories are a bit intertwined there.
Yeah, it's.
Does that make you less excited for the next Scream movie? Because you're a big Scream movie.
A little bit.
fan.
I'm not gonna lie. It just doesn't feel. It does that. The fact that she's not going to be in it.
Did her character get an ending in the last one?
No,
I've not seen it. Oh, okay. Yeah, if there's more, she could always come back in the future, I guess.
Yeah, but it also could be a bit of. I don't know. Could it be a little bit of
double
bluffage?
Yeah.
Maybe she's the killer in the new Scream movie. It's possible.
I think I've floated that theory for a Scream movie before, and it's never happened. But,
we'll see. I'll still watch it. I'm prepared for it to be shit. That's all I'm saying. I really enjoyed Scream 5, and it's really disappointing if it is just going to fall off a cliff now.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder if Courtney Cox will do it. Because if none of them do it, then...
Is this still a Scream?
Hayden Panettiere's confirmed.
Okay.
So she's coming back. She was in Scream 4.
Yes.
So she's coming back for Scream 6. So maybe they just do it as a whole new reboot.
Start rolling subs.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's disappointing. It's very disappointing, to be honest. But I am looking forward to the Lincoln Lawyer. I am definitely going to watch it. I think I might do The Boys first on Amazon.
Oh, right.
And then I'll hit that.
I've not seen any of that.
It's good.
Because,
you'd love that.
Well, no, I should watch it because I didn't have... At the time it started, I never had Amazon.
Right.
But I have now had for ages, and I've just never got to it. So
Check it
I
out.
will do that.
Add it to the list. Next.
There is a theme.
Okay.
And Netflix are not immune to the stuff we've just been talking about because the actress Monique, Oscar-winning actress, has settled with Netflix before the matter went to court after she accused Netflix of discrimination by giving her a lowball offer for her proposed comedy special.
Okay.
The parties involved now say that the matter has been amicably resolved.
Right.
The terms of the settlement were not disclosed. And Netflix are not responding to requests for comment, but the lawsuit did say that Netflix only offered her $500,000 for a comedy special and refused to negotiate any further.
That doesn't seem a lot.
It doesn't seem a lot.
When a Stranger Things budget is $30 million an episode.
There is info later on that, Netflix's offers to some of the people who they've had to do specials for them can run into the tens of millions of dollars, which does make 500,000 seem like absolute small change.
Yeah, it does.
Boo. Yeah. Boo.
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 Just treat everybody the same.
Bastards.
I mean, there's an argument over fame level, I suppose. Somebody like Dave Chappelle or Ricky Gervais probably warrant a bit.
I don't think that was really what
but
Monique was going for, to be fair. But
you can't be that far apart.
Yeah. How do you feel about the Power Rangers? I think I was a bit old.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they passed me by.
My sister, who's sort of 3 years younger, she used to like watching it.
Yeah.
And I was a bit, what's this?
I have younger friends who were very much into it.
Yeah. Well, Netflix, because they save money from not offering it to talented female comedians, are looking to get out a new Power Rangers universe.
Okay.
That could cover films and TV.
They love a universe, don't they?
They really do. And they've appointed a couple of people to oversee this universe. They've appointed Jenny Klein, who was a co-executive producer on The Witcher.
Oh, right, okay.
And she will be looking after the Power Rangers, along with Jonathan Entwistle, who was responsible for The End of the Effing World.
Oh, that's great, that show.
They're working together
Excellent.
on the Power Rangers series for Netflix.
That's interesting.
Coming at some date in the future.
At some point, it's happening.
Has it got to still have chunky plastic robots, though?
Yeah.
I don't think... Do you want it to look...
I don't want it to look good, surely. It's like Doctor Who still doesn't look good. It could look a lot better.
Yeah, and also, I would like to know, are you aiming it at, like, kids?
Yeah.
Like or are you aiming it at adults who watched it when they were kids?
No.
Because that's where these sort of things fall through the cracks, isn't it? It's a difficult balance to strike.
You've got to aim it at the right place.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Red Dwarf first came back? They did like a movie.
Yes.
I think it went straight to Dave, and that had too big a budget for Red Dwarf, and it was over CGI and it looked ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then they made a series and they just went back to their origins.
Yeah.
And
true.
that movie just didn't hold up at all because it just didn't look like Red Dwarf. But so that's what you need to do. You need to keep it stay in your wheelhouse.
I think so.
You just do. Next.
But no, I was just going to say,
talking.
just to close off on Power Rangers, it feels like, I mean, I don't want to say beating a dead horse, because if you're a fan, great, no, all power to you. But it's my impression of it is that it's never been off screen since it started.
Yeah.
Be that in TV shows or movies. And it's just endless.
Yeah.
So is a reboot if
it's always been there? Maybe.
But,
So it feels like a franchise that you could get a lot of content out of.
Sure.
So why not?
Yeah. Okay.
Next.
Let's run through some of the records that Netflix is claiming have been broken by Stranger Things Season 4, Volume 1.
Let's do it.
It is now the most popular English language TV series of all time for Netflix.
Okay.
With, in its first 2.5 weeks,
Yep.
781 million hours viewed.
So not only has it knocked Bridgerton Season 2 off number 1, it has trounced Bridgerton Season 2
Yes.
by like 130 million viewing hours.
And look, Stranger Things 4 is really long.
Yeah.
So it's got that in its advantage.
It has that benefit.
But Bridgerton's pretty long as well.
Yes. How many episodes of Bridgerton in a series?
I think it's 10.
Okay, so there's only 7 Stranger Things,
yeah.
but they're half an hour longer than the Bridgerton episodes.
Some of the Bridgertons are like an hour and 10.
Oh, are they? Okay, so...
But that...
Total running time
we'll get on to what we actually thought of Stranger Things later, I think, in what we watched. But I watched the finale very recently. Well, the finale of Volume 1. And that's an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
That's a full-on film.
It's a full-on feature film.
So... Yes, you'd expect.
You'd have expected it to get there anyway, but the length of the episodes has certainly helped.
It hit number 3 of the all-time list after only 10 days.
Wow, okay.
Which is a record. But despite all that, and I think this really puts Squid Game into context.
Yeah.
It is still so far behind Squid Game.
Still like 1 billion hours behind.
I don't think people, they throw around how big Squid Game was. But if you look at those numbers...
I don't know. I think you're right. I don't think people can comprehend those numbers.
It's insane.
It really is. Nothing's ever going to get close to that.
Because Squid Game holds the global record on Netflix for all TV series, which is why they've done this English language / non-English language. 1.65 billion hours in its first 28 days.
Yeah.
So
Stranger Things is at currently 780?
Yeah, so Stranger Things has got to more than double it
in the last week.
In its last 10 days.
It's incredible.
Which will obviously not happen.
No, it was not going to. Nothing will ever happen. It will never happen again. But
or will it? Because let me suggest to you that Netflix may do some creative accounting. Right, because Stranger Things Season 4 has Volume 2 to come in a couple of weeks.
True.
Do you think Netflix will be sneaky enough to say, that's Volume 2, we're going to add that to Volume 1, it's still the same season?
That is interesting to see if they would do that, because it is technically a mid-season break. It's not a separate season. I
think if we pull up them charts in a month's time, so in a month's time you'll have Volume 2 will have been out for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't think they're splitting those charts by Season 4, Volume 1,
no, I
Season
don't
4, Volume 2. I think they're going to be sneaky, put them together, and then...
I'm not
saying it'll get there.
I still think it'd struggle.
But I think it'll be close.
Because it's only... If it's done 781 million off 7 hour-and-a-half long episodes, there's only 2 more coming. So...
In terms of hours viewed, it's
going to struggle to even do it then. You're not getting 1 billion hours off those last 2 episodes.
But I think they'll try and
yeah, I think they will do
together.
that, but I still don't think it'll beat it.
Which I think again is just what you're counting.
But what they need to do is when Season 5 comes out, every episode's going to be 4 hours long, and then you'll do it.
Yeah, sure. Just one 11-hour episode.
Yeah, exactly. You'll do it easy. No, the Squid Game was an absolute phenomenon, and you're right. I don't think people do realise how big that number is.
So, the other records that were broken by Stranger Things season 4. The biggest premiere weekend ever for an English language TV show on Netflix. 286.8 million hours viewed. The first season to reach number 1 in 83 countries. The most viewed season of an English language TV show in a single week. And as I said, number 3 after just 10 days, that was a record. And eventually hit number 1 in 91 countries.
But there's only 91 Netflix countries.
Oh, well, there you go.
That's all of them. I'm sure there's only 91 Netflix locations.
Awesome.
Crazy. Good for them. It's a great show. We'll get
maybe
into it a bit later.
Chat a bit about Stranger Things in a bit.
Sure, we will.
And what we actually thought of it.
Next.
How do you feel about Pop-Tarts?
They feel very 90s. I don't think I've had one since the 90s.
I think that's really very chuckle. I think I'm similar. Yeah.
I know you can still get them. I just don't think I've eaten them.
I feel like a Pop-Tart was like the kind of thing when I was a kid. Probably endlessly bugged my parents of like, can we have some Pop-Tarts? Can we have some Pop-Tarts? Can we have some Pop-Tarts? Tried one, went, oh, that's all right.
All I ever remember about Pop-Tarts is how fucking hot they are when they first come out of a toaster. You just can't,
have to nibble around the edge.
you're impossible to eat.
And then just
jam just burns your face off.
Yeah, it's like you're eating the blood of a alien or something.
Shall I get some? We'll get some and do some next week on the show.
The problem with that sort of thing, well, it's not a problem, but we're not spoiled with that sort of stuff over here in the UK. Like, if we went and got some Pop-Tarts, like, not that you go down the shop anymore, but if we went into any random supermarket, I'm sure we would only get about 4 flavours to choose from.
Yeah, if that. Maybe not even that.
Out in the States, you can have freaking 78 flavours of Pop-Tarts,
True.
Toasted cheese Pop-Tart, anything.
Maybe we should. Maybe we should.
Do you think you can get like a variety, like a Pop-Tart roulette? I want to play Pop-Tart roulette.
You tell me why we're talking about Pop-Tarts, why I have a quick look at Amazon to see if you can get...
We're talking about Pop-Tarts because Pop-Tart the movie is coming to Netflix.
Pop-Tart the movie?
Yeah. It's called Unfrosted, the Pop-Tart Story. I feel like I've said Pop-Tart so much.
You have said Pop-Tarts a lot now.
It's now not meaning anything. And the Pop-Tart Story...
Stop saying Pop-Tart.
It's going to be directed by a guy you might have heard of, Jerry Seinfeld.
I have heard of Jerry Seinfeld.
And it's going to star some people you might have heard of. Melissa McCarthy.
I have heard of her.
Hugh Grant. James Marsden. Amy Schumer. Jack McBrayer. Max Greenfield. Christian Slater. And Sarah Cooper.
Wow, that's quite a cast.
Pop-Tart the movie, man. It's...
What is it?
It's a story of Pop-Tarts. It tells...
a bit like the McDonald's one Michael Keaton did.
The synopsis says, Pop-Tarts, Unfrosted, the Pop-Tart Story is set in Michigan, 1963, where Kellogg's and Post, sworn cereal rivals, race to create a pastry that will change the face of breakfast forever. It is a tale of ambition, betrayal, sugar, and menacing milkmen. Okay. I'm on board.
I'm on board. Yeah, well, I'm up for it. Why not? I've been on Amazon while you've been talking.
Yes.
You can get a selection pack of 4 different flavours for £20. You get 8 of each flavour.
Okay.
That seems quite a lot. I'm going to pick some up. Well, they do a s'mores one. That sounds quite nice.
Yeah, cool. See, yeah, like a real sweet Pop-Tart.
You can have s'mores, cookies and cream.
I want a savoury Pop-Tart.
Hot fudge sundae and chocolate chip they do here.
Seinfeld's last Netflix special, he did, which I'm sure he was paid for handsomely, he did a bit on Pop-Tarts. And apparently that was the genesis of this.
Oh, okay.
So, there you go. As long as it's as good as the B movie, that's
depending on who you are, you can get anything commissioned these days. For next week's web, I'm going to buy some Pop-Tarts and we'll eat Pop-Tarts on the show.
Yeah, look, if it stays this hot, we won't even have to toast them. We'll just put them on the windowsill.
True, there is that.
Okay, let's move on to non-Netflix news.
Okay.
And stop saying Pop-Tart. Because, and I'm sure if... What?
Nothing, carry on.
If you're listening to this, you're probably the sort of person who's already heard this news story, but I wanted to see what you thought of it. It's gone.
Sorry. Go on, carry on.
Joker 2
Yes.
is on the way.
Yes.
And it might be a musical.
Yeah.
And Lady Gaga's considering an
Talking
offer
of
to be in
Pop-tarts.
it.
That's what I was laughing at.
Absolutely seamless.
I was waiting for that joke. That's why I was laughing. Sorry.
Brilliant. How do you feel about that?
I don't believe it.
Do you think this is some
I think that some reporters made it up.
pointless guff to keep it in the limelight?
I think the reporters made it up because
Which bit don't you believe? The musical bit.
Until Todd Phillips comes out and says it, I don't believe it. I think somebody's gone, oh, Lady Gaga's a singer.
Oh yeah, she can't do more than one thing.
Exactly.
Despite the movies she's already been in.
If it is, then I'm on board with it. I'll take it. I'll accept it. It just doesn't feel like that movie would be a musical.
Full on musical.
Yeah. I feel like some reporters made that up.
We'll see.
Until Todd Phillips comes out and says it, I'm not buying it.
I mean, I think
It seems too big a franchise to take that big a risk on.
I think I could buy it.
Yeah, I could buy it.
No, I was going to say, I think you could make it work and you could buy it if there was a musical number in it.
Yes.
I don't know if you want to go full on musical.
Yeah.
But I would imagine he's been pretty much told, do what you want.
Yeah. But to that extent, it seems like still...
Because it's not in a connected universe to anything, is it?
No, stands alone.
So, we'll see. It's weird that rumour miller's just sort of popped up.
It popped up at the same time that Lady Gaga got cast,
Yeah.
and that's what made me think this sounds like bullshit.
Because they could just go, oh, it's all in their head.
Yeah.
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 We'll see.
We'll see.
Keep an eye on that one.
Good for Lady Gaga.
We
Just click that one.
talked a few weeks ago about the news story of Justin Lin leaving the Fast and the Furious
We did.
franchise. He left Fast X.
Yes. Is
Well-
that the 10th one? I assume it is.
I think so, yeah. If
Hence
I
the
know my Roman numerals. Either that or they're looking for treasure. I'm not sure. Justin Lin has announced what his next move is. He's signed up to direct on behalf of Sony an adaptation of a popular manga,
Oh.
One Punch Man.
I've heard of One Punch Man.
It's about a superhero named Saitama who can defeat any enemy with a single punch. The only person not impressed with the ability is Saitama himself. He's completely bored with fighting and only gets excited when it seems like he finally has a challenge.
I guess that's a good point.
Yeah,
You were just going to win with one punch every time. It'd get boring.
sure. It's kind of like a bit like the Superman problem, isn't it? It's so
Yeah.
powerful that
Yeah.
even more so. That sounds cool.
Yeah, it does sound cool. Yeah, it does. Justin Lin involved in that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm up for that.
Yeah, One Punch Man. More news as we get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Last bit of news for the week.
We've done a lot of news this week.
We might do. We got a couple of bits extra. Should we do them first?
Yeah, if you want to.
It's just really briefly to say, if you are at all interested, Netflix has literally just in the last few minutes before we started recording,
Yep.
because we just nipped and had a
Watched
look
them.
at them, trailers for Blonde,
Yep.
which is the upcoming Marilyn Monroe biopic,
Yep.
and also Matilda,
The
which
musical.
is the movie adaptation of the stage musical.
Yes.
And that's out at Christmas.
Yes.
It's their big
That is a
festive
musical.
family release.
That
Yes,
is a
that's
musical.
definitely a musical. If you want to go and check those trailers out, go and have a look.
They were both quite good.
Yeah, I mean, the blonde
blonde
one I
one-
would say was more of a teaser.
Yeah, it's only a minute long. It's a bit of a tease.
not real movie footage, I wouldn't have said.
She looks
Just-
like her, though.
Yeah.
I think it really...
But Matilda, again, it's quite short, but gives you a good taste. And I thought,
Yeah.
look
It's a
pretty
Christmas
good.
film, isn't it? It's going to come out at Christmas.
Emma Thompson as the Trunchbull.
Yep. Should be great. That's a great bit of casting, that.
And along the lines of family movies,
Yep.
it's been far too long, but Paddington 3 is official.
Cool.
It's Paddington in Peru.
Oh, right. He's going home.
Yeah.
Nice.
You
Has he
know,
been deported? I'm sure he's not in Paddington in Rwanda.
I was just going to say. Oh,
But we don't do politics, but fuck you, politicians.
what a
Everybody is up for that idea.
fucking state. It's got a new director.
Okay.
Don't know
What happened to my voice then? But okay.
Dougal Wilson will direct. It's his feature film debut.
Oh, wow.
He has directed previously a lot of commercials for Apple. He's done a lot of these John Lewis Christmas ads.
Oh right, okay.
which are pretty big over here.
They
Aren't
are, yeah. They do well.
But he's now taking the reins of Paddington in Peru.
That's quite a stressful project, I would imagine.
Paul King, who directed the first two, is still a producer and a co-writer, along with Simon Farnaby, who you will know from Horrible Histories, Ghosts.
That thing with the Queen last week.
Oh, the Paddington thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was right up there in the news, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah. How they kept that a secret was incredible, really, when you think about it.
Yeah, she did it right, didn't she?
Yeah, she looked like she was enjoying herself.
Yeah.
She must have been confused as fuck.
I would love to see the raw footage. So,
yeah,
was it just a dude in spots?
It must have been. Or is it just a guy in a green
a guy
suit
holding a
tennis ball?
Paddington head on it. You know, I want to see that. I want to see
somebody. Imagine directing the Queen.
Yeah,
somebody's directing the Queen to act. That must be so much pressure. I wonder if this guy's done it. It must have been him or the last guy, surely.
I might try and find out. We might do that as an update next week.
It must have been this director or the last director. But according to Rotten Tomatoes, Paddington 2 is the greatest film of all time.
It's brilliant.
I've not seen it, but it is official, isn't it? It beats Citizen Kane. It. So for this to be your first film, that's quite the thing to take on. The sequel to the greatest film of all time.
I know. Yeah, exactly. I know it's a sort of joke about it having that rating.
The most well-reviewed
they
film
are
of
both
all time is what it is.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Let's not kid ourselves. They're not the best movies of all time.
No,
of course they're not.
They're just, for some reason, the most well-reviewed movies of all time.
They're just so sweet
Wholesome.
and funny and just absolutely nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. So yeah, he has got big shoes to step in.
He has got some big shoes to fill there.
Even though Paddington only wears little tiny welly boots.
He does indeed. Is that all your news done?
That's all the news.
Look, the watched things have disappeared off the list.
Ah!
We need a new app.
We've got technical issues, but
we'll power through. Have you watched anything good at the top of the stream?
I've pretty much only watched one thing.
Yep.
But it was a lot of hours. I have finished Stranger Things Season 4 Volume 1.
So have I. So shall we go back to Hawkins and discuss? What do you think?
Oh, it's brilliant.
I think it's by far and away the best season they've done.
I think so.
It just feels like it's grown up a little bit.
Yeah.
That is down to
It's not for kids.
No, it's not.
I know it was never for kids.
No.
But you could maybe... But this series is not.
No, and it's weird, isn't it? Because kids will have watched the first 3 seasons of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And now...
It's pretty grim, this one.
Yeah. Can you recommend them not watching the next one? It's weird, isn't it?
A lot of dead kids and bent limbs and all that stuff.
It definitely feels like it's grown up. You can see the budgets in the episodes, for sure. 30 million budget an episode.
Yeah.
But I think it's great. I think it's been really good. They've managed to give... The only thing I would criticise them for is they haven't really paced there's 4 different stories going on at the same time. And some of them are getting more airtime than others, and some characters are being left by the side a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's quite interesting because people's personal tastes are going to veer one way or another. Yeah. There's for me, if I'm being really honest, look, I still enjoyed the whole thing. I was not as taken by the stuff with 11 back in the lab.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But if that's your favourite bit of it, great.
See, I'm not that hot on the Hopper stuff. I didn't think that was that interesting. But I feel like it could have been compacted and done quicker.
Yeah, so I liked it. I liked the story. It did, yeah. Because how many times did he escape and get recaptured?
Yeah,
I agree. I think you could have slimmed that down.
Taken some away of that and give some bit more to Will and Mike, for instance, because they're not even in the finale episode.
No.
Spoiler alert. If that's a bit of a spoiler, but and so it just feels like it needed a bit better pacing.
Yeah.
But on the whole, it's wonderful.
Yeah, look, like you say, you can see the money.
Yeah, you can. You really can. The fact that the Vecna character is completely practical effect, is amazing to me. In this day and age, with that sort of budget, and you're practical you're not CGI in a character like that.
Sure.
Some dude's dressing up in that costume. Baffles me completely. But it works so much better.
It's good all the way through, but I particularly want to highlight the 4th episode.
Yeah, the 4th episode is amazing.
Watching it with my wife at home, we were, I'm not even exaggerating, actually on the edge of our seats.
Yeah, I was.
I thought it was gripping. It was one of the best bits of TV I've seen in a long, long time.
Yeah, I agree.
Particularly that episode.
Episode 4 and the last episode, I thought both of those two were wonderful.
Yeah, great.
I thought it was great.
I mean, I don't think this is spoiler. Are we allowed to speculate if anyone's not making it out?
Yeah, of course.
Without giving anything away? I feel like there's one more season after this, isn't there?
Yes.
Someone's got to not make it out of this.
Yeah.
To really carry some impact over, I think.
Agreed. Who you killing off?
I feel like it's more likely to be one of the older kids.
Yeah, it ain't going to be any of the main younger kids, is it?
And there has been some speculation. I personally think that Jonathan's in a lot of danger. Because I feel like we've not seen that group much.
Yeah.
And
he's never really been put in danger, has he?
No, and he's kind of just been there this season, and I think, what have you actually done yet in Volume 1? Nothing. So I feel like maybe he's the one to...
They killed off one of their brothers in the last season, though. So is it a bit of a cop-out to kill one of the older brothers, another older brother?
Maybe.
All I'm saying is if it's Steve, we riot. That's all I'm saying.
My missus would not be happy with Steve.
But it would have a great impact. It's a great way to go out. But then in season 5, all bets are off. It's the final season, anything can happen.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Literally anything can happen.
Yeah.
But, no, I think you're right. I think one of them isn't making it. I wouldn't like to... I don't know which one it will be. But I think one of those two is in trouble.
I think they're the two favourites.
Yeah. Oh, I hope it's not Steve. That's worrying me now. So you've not watched anything else?
No, I really haven't.
You really haven't? I started something last night that might surprise you.
Okay.
I watched the first 2 episodes of God's Favourite Idiot.
Okay, that's Melissa McCarthy's
new...
Is it a sitcom?
Yes. It's a half an hour sitcom.
Okay.
8 episodes. It's her and her husband. A real-life husband's in it. I can't remember his name.
No, he's in all her films.
He's in all of her stuff.
And I can't remember his name.
He's God's Favourite Idiot. I quite enjoyed it.
Cool.
It's fun. It's just a fun little sitcom. This guy has been being helped through his life by God, and people can't understand why God's picked this guy. That's all I'm getting from the first 2. I'm definitely going to go back for the rest of them.
A few laughs?
Yeah, it's quite funny. There's bits of it that are quite funny. She's brilliant, as always. She plays like an older... It's all set in an office environment. Cool. She plays like an older woman in an office. A bit like Doris. My Name is Doris.
Yeah.
But she just doesn't give a shit. She's just drinking at a desk. She's slagging her boss off. It's just funny. I really enjoyed the first 2. I'm definitely going to go back for more.
That's cool.
And I don't do a lot of comedy, so
yeah.
I thought you might be a bit surprised, especially with
Melissa
McCarthy.
I am.
But yeah, no, I quite enjoyed it.
Does it feel... Because I don't think I mentioned this last week. I think I'm an episode behind now because I've not watched it this week. On Disney Plus, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes.
And I think it also came up in a Discord this week. I think Sam might have mentioned it.
Yeah.
But he absolutely hit the nail on the head. That show feels like a movie that's just been pretty arbitrarily chopped up into a TV series.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I thought of the Pentaveret a couple of months ago.
No, you did. You mentioned that.
Does this? Or does it feel episodic?
I mean, I've only seen 2 of them, so it's difficult to say.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see what you think.
Yeah, maybe I'll keep that in mind as I go through and watch them.
Yeah.
My guy I work with, he watched 6 last night, so maybe.
Okay.
So he basically watched the whole movie. So yeah, I'll keep my eye on that because that's a good question.
Yeah.
I'll check that out.
Cool. Awesome.
Excellent. I don't think I've watched anything else though. I'm sure there was 3 things on that list when I wrote it down, and there's now only 1 for some reason. I can't remember what the other thing was.
If it comes back to you, you just shout it out.
I will do. Right. Now, shall we do what everybody's here for?
Oh, yeah, fine.
Everyone's here for Real Talk, surely. The sweeping the nation.
So, this week on Real Talk, I'm glad it's sweeping the nation.
It seems to be.
The bottom of the stream nation. The topic was, who or what is your favourite movie villain and why? Now, before we get some answers, this was inspired by our watch-along last week.
Okay, yeah, it was.
Where we got together in the Discord.
Oh, we didn't talk. That was the other thing on the list. Was Robert? Yeah.
Well, we'll start off with that
Let's
then, and we'll segue into Real Talk.
Yeah.
We did a watch along, and we watched on Netflix Robert the Doll.
This is called Robert.
Was it?
But yeah.
I didn't even know what it was called.
It's just called Robert. It's by the same director and creative team that made Werewolves of the Third Reich, which we did on the show last season.
It was terrible.
It was terrible. It was really
Robert
terrible.
was also terrible.
Yes.
and funny.
Yeah.
Badly acted.
Yeah.
That doll, whilst creepy, was not threatening.
It really wasn't. The ending, man. Oh my goodness. Threw an invisible knife at a doll and stabbed it.
Yeah, the guy's like crawling up the stairs.
Yeah.
Makes a knife throwing motion. Clearly hasn't got a knife in his hand.
And then suddenly a knife appears in the doll's chest.
Yeah, the wooden doll.
All this kerfuffle that this doll had caused all the way through this film.
Yeah.
You can beat him with a cheese knife.
Yeah, this doll which lightly had been killing people by lightly tapping them on the head with a baseball bat.
It was a terrible movie, but we had a lot of fun watching it.
Yes.
Did we not?
Yeah.
It was great. It turned out to just be me, you, and our free Patreons in the Discord, which was nice. But it was a lot of fun. Well, I love doing those watch-alongs. We should definitely do them more often.
Yeah, they're great.
They're good fun. So we're going to stick with that franchise for more watch-alongs?
Possibly.
I think we at least need to do the next one.
Do the next one.
I feel like
I don't know if I want to do all 5.
Looking at the synopsis, I feel like the story takes a turn after the next one. The third film's an origin story of Robert, but it isn't the origin story they tell in the first film.
Oh, brilliant.
Which is great. So yeah, if you want to join our Discord, you can come along and join these watch-alongs.
Robert is a possessed doll who's actually a real.
Yeah, it's based on a true story.
Yeah, a real story, and it's the doll that Chucky was based on.
Yes, the story that inspired Chucky and Annabelle.
Yeah,
and possibly the boy as well. All these haunted doll movies have all originated from Robert.
Yeah, and he still sits to this day in a museum in Florida.
It does, and if you go to this museum in Florida, you have to ask his permission to take his photo, and if you don't, you get cursed by him.
So, I mean, I said in the Discord, if anyone suggested Robert as their favourite movie villain, they would be Bard. So no one has.
I have.
You're out. I'll start with Mr. Roth Cook,
okay,
who said, I don't know if this is about left field, but is out of left field, but he's gone with the Nothing from the Never-Ending Story.
I'm not aware of this. I've seen the Never-Ending Story, but a long time ago, so I don't really know what it is.
He had Gmork as a foot soldier, but Nothing's a living, breathing creature that wanted to bring about absolute nothingness, even at presumably the cost of its own life. It's interesting that Ross brought this up as an option, because in about, I want to say episode 5 or 6 of Stranger Things, Argyle brings it up.
Oh, okay.
As well.
Yeah.
Which is quite interesting.
That's maybe why it was fresh in Ross's mind. He's just given us the one answer this week, or has he gone for 3 or 4?
No, he's just he's got, that's his official answer.
Okay, so he's got an official answer this week.
But he does have a second choice.
Of course he does.
Which is Hans Gruber.
Great shout.
Die Hard.
Yeah, great shout.
Yeah, fine.
Cool.
Good, really good choice.
Anybody else?
Ross Cook's wife says the Sandersons from Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, that's fair.
Our good friend Wayne goes with also Alan Rickman, but as the Sheriff of Nottingham.
Great shout.
In Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, which is an absolutely stellar performance, easily the best thing about that movie. And then I've got Alex on Discord saying it's Anton from No Country for Old Men?
Yeah. I've also got Alex on Instagram and Twitter with the same answers. He's just come at us from everywhere.
It's a fine choice.
Yeah, it is. He's a terrifying character, definitely.
Yeah. That's it for the Discord.
I've got a couple on Instagram and I've got a couple on Twitter. Ollie, who is the guy I work with who we previously mentioned, he has gone with Professor Umbridge from Harry Potter.
Oh, okay.
Because he's a big Harry Potter nerd. He's actually got... who's the bad guy?
Voldemort
on his arm, and another one, and Harry on the other side of his arm.
Cool.
There's a massive sleeve tattoo. So he's gone with Umbridge. I think I've told you before. His Voldemort looks like Bill Gates. It's really funny, and he'll hate me for saying that, but it's true. Alex has also come back and said Anton. He's given a reason in the Instagram though. He's put killingly, seemingly completely at random, no morals, unpredictable. Has to be Anton. Twitter, meanwhile, we had a response from. I Understood That Reference podcast.
Oh, yeah. Great podcast.
Great podcast. Great couple of guys. They put, this is tough. I imagine you will get many Thanos answers, but we didn't. So they were wrong. The Joker in the Dark Knight is a classic. Yeah?
Yeah.
Just so many to call. Does the Predator count, he's put?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. Or the Terminator.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's put, as a concept, I love the Terminator, and on the whole, it can't be reasoned with. So we've gone.
I think great. I wonder if they had a specific Terminator in mind, because I always go. I know Arnie was the villain in the first one, but it's Robert Patrick for me.
Yeah,
it's that run,
creepy run. Yeah, I think you're right.
He's the scariest Terminator.
Yeah, agreed. I think that's all I've got on the Instagram and the Twitters.
Okay.
Unless I've missed them somewhere, which is highly likely. So, do you want to do ours?
Yeah.
Do you want me to do mine?
Okay, yeah, you go.
I'll go. So I had a few choices.
Yeah.
I've narrowed it down to 2.
Okay, that's positive.
But I think I know my one. So I'm going to tell you the one that came second for me was Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Because I feel like you've got that band of slashers like Michael Myers, Jason,
sure,
Ghostface. I feel like the others you can escape from if you try hard enough. You can run from Jason and Michael Myers. You might not get very far, but you can run from them. Freddy, you can't get away from him.
No, it's true.
You've got to stay awake, and that is impossible. And he can get you in your dream. So I feel like Freddy scares me more than any of the others because you can't get away from him.
It's very topical as well. I mean, going back to Stranger Things, the Duffer Brothers completely. Well, yeah, exactly. You've got Robert Englund in there, but they said Vecna owes a lot to Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, definitely. Well, he does. He pretty much is Freddy Krueger.
Dustin does a whole line about how similar it is to Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
It's a homage in many ways.
The little shouts, little Easter eggs that they do to 80s movies is really good in Stranger Things because it's so understated. Like when they go and visit Vecna, it's clearly the cell from Silence of the Lambs. Yeah. And it's not even mentioned, but it's really clever how they do that. But I think my number one might surprise you a little bit.
Okay.
But I'm going for Percy from the Green Mile.
Okay.
Doug Hutchinson's character.
Yeah, that is a good shout.
He's the only...
He's fucking evil, that guy.
He's evil, and he makes me want to hurt him.
Yeah.
Because he makes my skin crawl. And
good shout.
He makes my skin crawl in real life. The guy's a weirdo in real life, Doug Hutchinson. It doesn't work for a very particular reason anymore. But that character in the Green Mile is a horrible bastard. Yeah, he's an evil, horrible bastard. And I think that's one for me.
Because there is no redeeming feature there. No. That guy is an absolute piece.
Yeah, he is. And
good choice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like it.
I had a few. There was obviously Michael Myers, Jason, that sort of thing. But as soon as I thought of that guy in the Green Mile, I was like, yeah, it's him. It's 100% him. What about yourself?
Yeah, I same. I ran through some of the usual suspects, discounted. The obvious I was thinking, what do people think? And you get all these lists out there, don't you? Top 10, top 20 villains. And it's all populated with stuff like, Darth Vader, the alien, fine, whatever. They're fine. But I've gone with what now is quite an uncomfortable choice. Because this person is played by Kevin Spacey. But he's not in this movie for very long. He's literally only in it for a few minutes.
Okay.
And it's not the usual suspects. It's John Doe from Seven.
Yes, good shout.
And I love that movie.
Yeah.
It's really creepy. Again, a gripping movie. And it's so tightly written.
Yeah.
It just ties together lovely. And then it's just a bit of a shame it's Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
But
we've both chosen cancelled characters.
But the villain is off screen.
Yeah.
You literally only see him right at it's the denouement of the film. They're chasing someone a step behind. You never see this guy. He's a presence, but he's not in the movie.
Yeah.
And there's something there about that. I always found that movie incredibly unsettling.
Yeah, it is really uncomfortable.
I think it's a great villain.
That's a great shout.
So
I'll give you that. We've both chosen cancelled actors.
Yeah.
Get the cancel cannon out.
Yeah.
While you were talking then, I've just had another one that I hadn't even thought about before. I also want to give a shout out to Mark Hoffman from the Saw films.
Okay, he's shit.
Everybody knows that he's the true villain of all the Saw films. Jigsaw had morals, whereas Hoffman did not.
That guy, that lumbering, he's a bad actor.
Do you know he was once voted the sexiest man in the world?
Really?
Yeah. He once won one of those polls to vote him the sexiest. Obviously, when he was a lot younger than he is in the Saw film.
That's incredible.
Yeah, he's not great in them, but he is the villain of the Saw franchise.
Yeah.
Not Jigsaw is not. Done. Real talk over.
Yeah.
Wave over.
I think so.
I think so. We've done nearly an hour.
What a great wave.
I've really enjoyed this wave.
Yeah, me too.
I've had a lot of fun with it. I always enjoy the wave, but
I do as well.
I think this one's been really good.
I might open the window again though.
That's fine.
For a couple
the neighbour
of
was
minutes.
out having a fag a minute ago. We've gone in now, so that's fine.
Come back on Thursday. We're talking about the Summit of the Gods.
Yep. French-Japanese collaboration.
Yeah. And
Should be fun.
I'm looking forward to talking about it.
Yeah, me too. I've got some thoughts on it.
Cool. With that, we'll be back next week for some more wave, some more news.
We will indeed.
Some more action.
Check out the Discord. The link will be in the show notes.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Bye.